Valley Club, as bad as it was initially received, with its rebalancing and reuse of old health packs, is Temporal Dimension actually a huge win for the community? Aries is here. His stats are looking insane. How much of a difference maker will he be for you in war? And the Annihilators are coming. Apocalypse updates are live. The graphic updates are live. We're talking about all of these things and more in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. Joining me this week, all the way from his brand new room in Cosmic Crucible, is my brother Dulom. And if you're ready for all of these topics and more, then brother Dulom, let him know what to do.
Go smash it.
And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. This is brother Dulom, and this is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. We do this every week, keeping you up to date on everything that has happened and is upcoming in Marvel Strike Force. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. There's at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on the channel. Usually we have more news videos like this, question and answer videos, everything being experienced in Marvel Strike Force. But Dulom, it has been a while. I know last week we were gonna do this. You got a last minute work call. How has your experience though been in Marvel Strike Force? A lot of anger in the community, but a lot of good things happening as well. How are you taking all of this?
Yeah, a lot of negativity. I actually put a video up recently where I was pretty positive about the Captain Britain stuff and what's going on. And it's like, hey, let's wait and see. Like, let's just see what's going to happen. We don't know if the Captain Britain might come back before the legendary requirements. What's going on with that? Everything like that. But I know they gave a lot of orbs and stuff like that. So it seems like Scopely's trying to make right, which is good.
Is Decimal Point Jeff back? Is he helping us out now? Hey, let's get more people, Captain Britain. Let's send out more stuff.
Crimson gear, do it now. Crimson, right. I want it now.
All right, Jeff, Crimson gear. We need that, Jeff. And if you guys don't know, Decimal Point Jeff is the guy that has been responsible for a lot of these errors which we had this week. But let's go into the big controversy of last week. The Temporal Dimension, initially in the blog post, Temporal Dimension launched requiring Cabal characters, that's fine. Requiring Illuminati characters, gear tier 14, that's fine. But 5 of them, which means that if you did not purchase Black Panther Shuri, you did not purchase Hank Pym, you're shut out of this event. Initially, community's very, very upset with this. How did you feel initially when you saw these requirements for this next mission? Turning it from a pay to win to a pay to play type of game.
Yeah, the second I saw this, my first thought was, oh, cool. Now we're just paywalling actual content. That's exciting. Awesome. Like, we're going to do 4 nodes out of the 25, and then you're going to be like, nah, never mind. So I thought that was really, really peculiar that they were going that route. But it looks like the change to it was really good, using only 3 Illuminati characters. And I've been hearing people are using just the 3 reworks and getting through it at like gear 15, level 80. And they're able to get through it because we have so many health packs too, because they left those, which was nice. So the change was good, but people putting that tinfoil hat on saying, oh, this was what they were going to do originally, but they were going to change it. And so they're playing 4D chess with us. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're listening to the community and they changed it. They're reacting, and they reacted in a good way. Give them credit.
All right, so we saw this a few days earlier, and there was some backlash in the Envoy chat, and I guess not all of it was received because they were busy setting up the Cosmic Crucible tournament and everything like that. But the community saw this, and within 2 hours, 1 hour? It was very quick. It was very quick that this was announced in the Envoy chat. Hey, we're working on messaging. You can make this public right now. I think within an hour, this change went out. So this was the response right after that blog went out, after reviewing the community's feedback regarding Temporal Dimension Illuminati missions. Our team has decided to adjust the character required, send the community resources. Thank you for your patience while we make these adjustments. Illuminati nodes now only requiring 3 characters. Feel free to use more if you have them unlocked, but the gear requirements for each mission will remain the same. And then we're supposed to get some compensation. 10 Pimpal orbs, which is some Black Panther Shuri shards, which is actual shards. So you're not going to get stuck getting shut out of that. But these 10 Pimpal orbs, I know some people did roll a pretty high number on that. Some Armory, 19 orbs, L4 training mats, Crimson Raid orbs. There was an issue with Facebook and the login, and what they did was send out a login streak to everybody as well. This is what it ended up looking like, and this was from the 16th. We also got a thing on the 15th. So we ended up getting this 3 times. So 30 of this Pin-Pal orbs, 30 Shuri shards. How did you do with these Pin-Pal pulls? Did you pull anything good? Did you actually get any Hank Pym, or did you just get the other 3 Illuminati?
Out of all the orbs, I think I got like 17 Hank Pym, I think.
Okay.
So not terrible, but I mean, there was 4 people in our alliance that got 100 drops, and I'm like, oh, cool. Guess it's not going to be me. Awesome.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see, honestly, it was nice to see a lot of people getting them and a lot of people saying, you know what, this is cool. You know, we had a better chance at it. Awesome.
All right, tinfoil hat. This was supposed to go out once. It went out 3 times. Was that done on purpose, or was that decimal point Jeff saying, let's screw up this code because this is not friendly enough for the community? What is your tinfoil hat theory saying right now?
Tinfoil hat theory. Oh, it was by mistake. Absolutely by mistake. I want to think that they did this on purpose, but I feel like it would have gone all in once. Like they would have just tripled the rewards if they meant for it to go out 3 times, right? To make it look bigger, more impressive, because like 60,000 orb fragments of that would have been like, oh, that's pretty awesome. But no, I definitely think it was a mistake. But hey, a mistake in the player's favor, sometimes that can happen too. So nothing wrong with that.
And I like that nothing was done. They didn't say, hey, wait a minute, we're going to remove these Black Panther Shuri shards. There's just like, all right, this is our mistake. Have all that free stuff. I like
Enjoy.
that. Enjoy. Now, when Temporal Dimension actually launched, that's kind of the big event this week. The difficulty for longer time pearlers was pretty easy. I pretty much just autoing it. It's taking a while to auto through this. I was doing this all stream, and we're still only about 68% of the way just autoing this. How long did it take you, and were you surprised at the difficulty? Would you have liked to see it a little more difficult, helping out endgame players, but also realizing that this is a large community, this is an old game, so if we make it too difficult, not many players would be able to, or not many of the newer mid-game players would be able to finish this. So what do you think of the difficulty? Was it appropriate? Would you like it switched?
Honestly, I like the difficulty overall because it was accessible to everybody, especially because of the 3 Illuminati reworks being able to get through it at relatively lower levels and such. So I think that was nice. Selfishly, as an endgame player, just content-wise, it just wasn't there. There was nothing, right? Like it's just a full auto for myself. So like content-wise, it would be nice if we got something, but hey, free stuff is free stuff. The node rewards were pretty great because they got a lot of training mats, so I know a lot of newer players need that. So if they have Cabal built up and they have the Illuminati reworks built up, they can do that. There was a lot of ISO in there, blue 4 and blue 5. So for people still trying to get APOC, that's really nice as well. That can almost like get 2 or 3 characters worth of blue ISO 5 there. So I think the rewards were pretty good. Selfishly, again, Crimson Gear was kind of meh, and the content just wasn't there for me.
Yeah, so I do like the rewards. I think this was very, very helpful because this actually launched the same time that these Apocalypse changes went live in the game, or around the same time. So you got your Apocalypse, you could get some characters and maybe get that big boy Apocalypse sooner. There were a few of these Pim-Pal orbs in this, and I was hoping there would be more shards of either Black Panther, Shuri, or a Hank Pym, just cuz a little disappointed that. Other than that, the rewards were pretty good. Now, one thing that I noticed initially, there was a little bit of a delay with this, and I thought that had to do with this. If we look in our health pack for the Pocket Dimension, one good thing they didn't do is they didn't refresh this energy. So all the health from my Temporal Dimension previously, I don't think I used any of it. And it's just loading up, which makes the difficulty even easier for newer mid-game players. Do you think with this in mind, with all these excess of health packs, could they made it a little more difficult, made it a little more challenging for endgame players, and just left it like that and give out more health packs for players? Would that be a solution, or is that still too challenging for some players?
I think that would be too hard to balance, to find that right balance between it. So like this one was Gear 14 requirements, right? And Gear 14, Gear 15 can pretty much do it, which I think for that level is good, right? I think that's perfectly fine. And then you have the extra heals, so you don't even have to blow cores to do it, which I think is great for the community overall, just getting some good free stuff. I think we needed the goodwill, honestly, so nothing wrong with that.
I saw you made a suggestion how it could be accessible for newer players, but also give some harder content for end game players. What was the suggestion that you made on this?
Yeah, so I made a suggestion on this, and I think the first run should stay exactly the way it is live right now, where it's super easy, pretty much everybody can get through it, and then maybe making the second run a little bit harder so that there's a little bit more content for some later to end game players, and there's something to actually play. I'm not saying make it, ridiculously hard. Like, remember the pre-patch Cabal Temporal Dimension with that Quicksilver Infinity Watch node that was like, you got into a cycle and you couldn't get past it. It was ridiculously hard, and they had to.
I think that's what they gave all the health packs for, right?
Yes, that's what they gave the health packs for. So I don't think it should be that extreme, but I think maybe making the timed run a little bit more difficult, so it could incentivize us wanting to build a little bit higher to get the better rewards. But I mean, overall, I just want more content, because endgame there's just no content right now. Battle World's still been delayed, so we're just waiting for more content.
What about if they do what you said? Put a majority of the rewards on that first run rewards, make it easy, and then make that second run not a lot of rewards, more for bragging rights, and maybe something like a costume or something in there. Make it super freaking hard. Make it cosmetic so that we like, all right, this is hard. It's not affecting my gameplay, but I want to do this anyway. That I would like that. Would you like something like that?
Yeah, even just like a border, one of the frames, even if it's just anything to go with it, a costume, maybe like it's a super rare costume for one of the Cabal members or something like that. Like, even if it's just a joke costume
has never ever been released in a game.
Exactly. Or even if it's like a joke costume where leader can have a tiny head.
I saw that costume in the Temporal Dimension.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I was like, oh, we're finally getting it? Oh, no, I guess not. Like, I don't know. Costumes have fallen by the wayside real quick. It's odd. It's very peculiar.
I like them because they're a good reward. They're only cosmetic, so if you don't get them, you're not really missing out on gameplay, but it's kind of a cool reward. I wish they would make use of the costumes a little more. Yeah, it's a little flex.
Yeah, it's a little flex. I like that. Yeah, I think they should do that.
Not the gold ones, though. Not the gold ones. Like real costumes. Real costumes.
No. Like, I want them to do that for Cosmic Crucible, like the top 200 rewards, top 250 rewards. Give us a costume, give us a border, so we can show that, like, hey, season 9, I was Grandmaster, or I have this skin because I was awesome. Like, little stuff like that is really cool.
Scopely, take notes. I like it. I like all of that.
Absolutely.
Stuff. Put more cosmetic stuff in the game and make it hard and lock it behind hard stuff. Yeah, make me. I'd do that. I like that. All right.
Absolutely.
Another hardcore character for war players. Aries is released. I think this is great. I was a little confused on this because I didn't hear the call that you guys had. I saw this and I thought, oh, there's one big team part of the Annihilators. Well, Aries is not part of the Annihilators at all. He looks like he's a standalone character that you could plug and play in many teams. Looks like he can be strong on war defense. What are you thinking when you saw his kit initially? More war defense, or is it more of an attack type of character?
I think he's going to be a really good master key for attacking. But he's going to be great on defense too. I mean, new characters are always put on defense originally, right? Because nobody really knows how to beat them. Nobody knows how to figure them out. So usually they're going to be put on defense first with other big things. And I mean, this guy's kit's ridiculous. Like, he is really, really good, and he's going to be good in Cosmic Crucible too, because a lot of his stuff is not locked behind just war. And then also with the stat changes and stuff like that, like, he's going to be really good pretty much everywhere, honestly. I mean, like, he's Apocalypse. He can't let people spawn with Safeguard. Like, just throw him in with Eternals to Infinity Watch, and now you don't have to use APOC there anymore.
Now, I even though he will be great in Crucible, great in a lot of game modes because of his stats, I think the big thing about Aries is this passive right here. In war, after all other characters on spawn effects, copy and clear positive effects, charge, revive once of all characters, this clear cannot be resisted. That is strong.
Yeah.
How much is that going to affect him losing that in Cosmic Crucible, losing that in other game modes, maybe the upcoming Battle World? Does he lose so much losing that passive that it's even with those stats, maybe not bringing him in?
No, because I mean, even just the first line of that, at the start of any match, enemy characters cannot spawn with Safeguard. Like, that's an Apocalypse level ability right there. Like, that's ridiculously good. So I think he's going to be good plug and play on offense in Cosmic Crucible because I don't think he's going to be good enough for defense unless his stats are just ridiculous. But offense, he's going to be a defense machine for a while because that stops like Mercs for money because they lose all of their positive effects. It stops a Black Knight because he loses all of his charges immediately. Like it stops a lot of stuff immediately. Like Aries is really, really, really good.
Good point on noticing that. I saw this and I didn't think that much of value. Now that you're mentioning that is huge. Yeah. So very, very good character. Back to his gear and stats though. He does have some huge stats. And as far as his gear, not taking that weird Olympus extract that we got 5 of from random event last year. Maybe Odin will take that, but Hammer Tech looks to be the big thing for Aries. And let me ask you about this tag right here. On MarvelStrikeForce.com, he has this tag, Apostle of War. What do you think that can mean? Is that some event that he's having? Is that another team that will get some characters kind of like undying later on? What do you think that means?
So this is full tin hat theory. They've told us nothing. Like we don't even know what Apostle of War is. We know nothing.
We know this. We know this.
Yeah,
we know the blog post. That's it.
Yeah. So I think they might be leaning towards having characters like Aries that are full plug and play in game modes, in specific game modes. So maybe like Apostle of War and then Apostle of Crucible. So maybe there's going to be an Aries level character coming to Crucible as well. That could be a plug and play defense, offense everywhere. That's what I'm maybe thinking is just like a full 100% Crucible plug and play character, like they're doing with Aries for War. So that could be really interesting if they kind of do that, because those are the 2 main PvP content right now.
Yeah, and then maybe one for Battle World when it comes out. Maybe one for Arena down the road. Apostle of Arena. I like that. That'll be cool. Yeah. And then one full team somewhere way down the road.
The Apostles team down the road.
Apostles. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I like that theory. Let me know your theories down in the comments, everybody. But we have the release method of Aries. He can be available in a battle pass starting July 29th. Premium and standard passes, and what they did say, this is not a one-time pass. This is something that's going to run over and over and over. So even if you're free to play, you should get that unlock for Aries. However, you're going to get that unlock right away, the premium pass. You'll get the 3-star unlock through the first season. We also have some data mines about his awakened abilities, but what do you think is happening with, or what do you think about this release method? Battle pass, free to play, gets it eventually, paid, we'll get it a lot sooner. It's a different method that we've had in the past.
Yeah, it's a different method. It kind of reminds me of like the raid season rewards where we got like Big Time Spider-Man and like Silver Surfer, the way it was kind of like trickled into us, and like Quicksilver for Cosmic Crucible rewards and stuff. I think this is great. Honestly, this means everybody gets Aries. Aries is a 100% free character as well. Like to my knowledge, I'm assuming there's not going to be offers for this guy because like Big Time Spider-Man, there were no offers for Big Time Spider-Man, if I remember correctly, when they do releases like this.
Or Mr. Negative, if I remember correctly.
Correct. Yeah. So like this is really, really interesting, and it's a really good like free to play way of getting him. Now, obviously, the premium pass is going to get you up to that 7 stars, and I don't know where free to play is going to get. Yeah, and I don't know where free to play is going to end at star wise. I don't know if they're going to be like, oh, okay, cool, you got 4 stars. Now you need to wait until he's unlocked for another method. I don't know. So it depends, but not gating a character that is this good in War behind any sort of offers or anything like that is really awesome.
It's so cool that we get a new character that is good. We don't have to spend $400 to get this character. I like it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, so I think this will be good. Now, as far as his awakened abilities, there are some things in the data mines, but when you first saw this, that he had awakened abilities, how did you think that his awakened abilities would be released?
So my first thought was the Mercs for Money Blitz might be coming back with this style instead, so we might get 1 free for Aries. My other thought was it's going to be offers for the other 3, and then maybe one of them in the premium pass. Maybe it's like maybe you have to buy like all 3 premium or however many premium passes there are, and it gives you like 50, 50, 50, and 50, or whatever allotment it needs to be split between all the premium passes. So maybe the Blitz will get his ult, the premium passes will get like his special, and then the basic and the passive will be monetary release, and then obviously into the raid store for the elite credits eventually.
As long as they keep that golden bounty blitz, whether it's for Old Man Logan's awakened ability or someone, I want that because I need that gold. So yeah, Keep
Absolutely.
the golden, even if there's no awakened abilities in it, keep the golden bounty blitz going, even after Old Man Logan's thing ends. Yeah, I like that. All right, now this is a pretty major announcement in my opinion. The future of base stat characters. In simple forms, the kits are going to be a lot simpler. But what they said, they've noticed a trend in Marvel Strike Force characters' kits have been getting steadily more complex over length. And starting with Aries and the next team, the Annihilators, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, changing how they balance the characters. So historically, character balancing starts with base stats, and they maintain tight control over that over the years. And they've slowly increased that with a few meta teams. I know they had a big increase with Silver Surfer, but they're adding more complexity and power to the character's kit each time we release a character, and taking a look at the complexity, they're making a change. So they're increasing the base stats to make sure that they're not going to get too crazy with the way the passives read. Give me extra stats here. I know a lot of characters passive, they have give X amount of health or damage to other characters. And while that's good, and that's fine for gameplay, just looking at these kits is a little complicated sometimes. So what do you think of this change? It will affect the power levels of characters. I think gameplay wise, these characters will function pretty similar to what they want, but power levels will have some crazy power levels, crazy damage, crazy health. How do you think all this is gonna affect us in game, or we'll see not a huge major change as far as gameplay, but just when looking at a roster, that's when we'll see more of the change?
Yeah, so I think the roster is going to be the big change, and then the kit is going to be a lot shorter, right? So if you even look at Illuminati, right? Like Black Bolt gives like 50% max health to Illuminati, so something like that won't be there anymore. Shuri gives focus and damage, I believe, on her passive. So stuff like that won't be in there anymore. So that's like 3 lines that are gone right there.
Yeah,
so it's just shortening the kits a lot. And I will say, even when looking at the Aries kit, his whole kit fit on like 1 page in a PDF, and I was like, oh, this is nice. This is the first time ever. Usually it's scroll. And then as for the stat changes, I think it's good that they acknowledge this as well, because like with the Silver Surfer meta, I don't remember them acknowledging this. And it was just like, oh, Silver Surfer is ridiculous. And then I think Kestrel was right after Silver Surfer, and Kestrel was like one-shotting people with her ult, and we're like, what is happening? Is every character bad that's not them now?
Yes.
But yeah, literally. But and that's why you'll see his kit, a lot of the damage percentages of like 250% is nowhere near as much as the 600% we see, the 700% piercing with like Archangel ult and stuff like that. So I think kind of like the resets on the numbers is awesome. It's going to make it a lot clearer for a lot of people and a lot more accessible to newer players as well.
Yeah, I mean, some of the characters' kits, you're scrolling at their paths, scrolling. Yeah. So I like that they knew that this is an issue, and I like that they're going to be a little proactive with this. Now, we mentioned the Annihilators team, Dulam. This was a big bombshell last week. Odin, Gore the God Butcher. We also have Gladiator, Endgame Thanos. Now, Odin, not sure what the hell the team is going to be on. He's not going to be an Annihilator team, but the Annihilator team will feature Endgame Thanos, Gladiator, Gore the God Butcher, and 2 reworks, Ultimates, and Silver Surfer. What was your initial thoughts on this team when you saw all these characters would be combined? And I guess that was your reaction last week. So what was your initial reaction with this team?
Yeah, my initial reaction was the team choices are pretty cool. Gore's a really cool character. Thanos Endgame was a little questionable for me. I was like, why not just rework the old Thanos? But whatever.
Money. That's why. Money. They gotta sell him. They gotta sell him. They can't sell you a rework.
And then the reworks, the reworks were interesting choices, right? So Silver Surfer, I feel like could have a lot of plug and play ability because of his kit, removing charges and stuff. So my first thought went, if he can remove charges from Black Knight, that's ridiculous. Silver Surfer could be nuts. And then my next thought for Ultimus was, dear God, no, do not make me build Ultimus. He's level 1 and I want him to stay there forever. But he looks pretty interesting. He could be cool. It could be interesting. They can't do a mythic character this dirty, can they? There's no way. There's no way they can.
They've got him dirty for 5 years. What is changing? Do you think they're changing that trend now? This is just a place to put our gold and our resources.
Maybe I would say for people,
we'll
wait and see. Definitely wait and see. I would not build reworks right now at all. I'd wait and see what happens, see what works for your roster, where you're at, and what's going to work for your teams in general, and what resources you can allocate. But maybe you can look at this and go, hey, I don't have to build the 2 new reworks. That's gold saved right there.
All right, what about your thoughts on this selection of characters? I thought Thanos would be on this, or Odin would be on this team. I'm like, how does this team fit? This team makes a lot more sense now that it's these 5 that are getting reworks that are going to be on this one team. What do you think is the selection of characters? Gore the God Butcher, new Thanos, yeah, it's kind of weird that they ended up, but Gore, Gladiator, and then the reworks. What do you think is selection of characters for what the Annihilators are?
I think it's interesting. I really like the Gladiator pick. Like, Gladiator looks dope. Gladiator looks like a buffed up Mr. Sinister. He looks really, really cool. And I made a joke that Gore just looks like Ebony Maw's brother. They just look very similar to me. Like, same skin tone, face, everything. But I think the team is going to be really cool. I like the picks that they had. I like how Marvel Strike Force goes with a little bit of off the wall picks instead of just sticking to comic book accurate. Which I know that's a split decision for a lot of people. Some people love the comic books and love seeing the really accurate lore, but I like them throwing in the oddball picks as well.
I do as well. Now, I know you know what this is going to be used for. You can't say, but initially, when you first saw this team, saw this screenshot, saw that it was going to be an Annihilator team, where did you think this team was going to be used?
My first thought was going to be a Mystic Raid team, because I feel like we need a Mystic Raid team because Bifrost is so old, and I feel like we're really getting on the cusp, because I think Bifrost is over a year old, or just at the year mark, which is what Scopely has deemed as the time frame on characters being used, right, is a year. So that my first thought went to Mystic, right? Because OG Thanos is Mystic, so I was like, okay, cool. Endgame Thanos, probably Mystic. Gore, probably Mystic, right?
Yeah.
Gladiator, I didn't know much about him, but I was like, probably Mystic. Odin, obviously Mystic, right? I was like, oh, all this together, it has to be the Mystic Raid team. But it's good. That was my first thought for sure.
All right, I don't want to say my first thought, but let's move on to Odin. Let's move on to Odin here. One of the major characters that was announced on that split screen is not one of the Annihilators, but it's Odin. And according to this, it looks like he is one of the next legendaries as part of the Age of X, Professor X. We have Old Man Logan here. The next spot was updated with Odin. So how do you think he's going to be unlocked? The traditional legendary way? I mean, they already said that Illuminati would be required for the next legendary. So is there going to be another team? Do you think Annihilators could be used to unlock Odin? Where do you think Odin is going to shine now that you know that he's not going to be on the Annihilators?
Unlock wise, it has to be trials. Like, that's the only way we've unlocked anybody that's led to a like a Professor X or Apocalypse. It's always been Scourges, trials, anything like that. Even for Mephisto is all trials for Green Goblin, Black Cat. So like, it has to be trials, and for Nova. So it has to be trials, right? Which is normal, which is what we expect. So we're assuming Illuminati's for the next legendary, which Odin, right? For the trials, but the next team, like, cause there's always 2 teams that are required, right?
Yes.
It definitely could be the Annihilators. Ooh. It definitely, and honestly, the good thing is there's only 3 new characters on the Annihilators. So if you're trying to get past a Stargate, that's nowhere near as expensive of having to buy a 5-man team and then a 5-man team, right? So it's, Illuminati is 3 new characters, 2 new if you don't count Captain Britain, which most people aren't going to get.
Yeah, I'm not going to count that one.
Yeah, and then also you have 3 new characters from Gore from the Annihilators. So it could be that, but honestly, I don't know. Like, Scopely could do whatever they want to do. And then as for like where Odin's going to be used, I hope he's used way more than just a raid character. Personally, I hope he's used way more places, because Odin is such a cool character lore wise. Like, he's so strong. I hope this comes with like an Asgardian rework. Maybe Vol comes back into the meta as well, because Vol's falling out with Bifrost, right? That would be awesome too. I don't know. I'm getting greedy, and I want like a Sinister 6 level rework for Asgardians where Odin's plug and play with them. That's what I want.
Now, I do think he's going to have some arena value. If you look at some of our previous trial characters, Green Goblin Classic, Old Man Logan, Black Cat, all involved in arena. Maybe not so much Nova, but the rest of these characters all had some arena value at the time. So I do think he's going to have some arena value. Now, interesting thing about the next legendary, says that Illuminati will be required, but it also says that you can use a 3 yellow Captain Britain for the next legendary event. Traditionally, we've had to have our characters at 5, 6, or 7. What do you think this means about the next legendary? How do you think that's going to be worked? Are star requirements not going to be involved for this, or is this just specific for Captain Britain?
I think there's 2 ways it can go. I think it's specific for Captain Britain, where he can be used at any star level for any Stargate that's potentially there, or they're just not doing Stargates for the next Scourge, whatever it might be, trials. I always call it Scourges, but the next trials. So maybe there's just no Stargate at all, or maybe there's only a Stargate for the characters that are not Captain Britain, which I think would be more player friendly, obviously, because, you know, Captain Britain, honestly, he's probably just going to die if he's only 3 yellow going into the Scourges, but at least we have the opportunity to try to finagle the nodes and get through it our way.
All right, and we had info about a new graphics update coming to the game, and according to this post on Reddit, it looks like, at least for some players, I don't have it on my iOS device, it's not on my Android emulator, but at least for some people, it is live that are on Android devices. So should be coming out to the rest of the community very, very soon. What do you think of these new graphics updates that are in the game? And it looks like they are a little buggy right now with some of the raid lanes, but overall, what do you think of this graphics update?
Much needed, honestly, much needed. Like, the best thing about this game has always been the art, the graphics, the animations and stuff like that. Let's lean into it, double down, make them even better. You can see, I mean, even on Apocalypse, you see the shine on him is way shinier. The colors are a lot brighter. The lighting and stuff like that on the next picture down, like with the helicopter spotlight and like the reflection in the water, like little stuff like that really adds to like the immersion of the game. And that's stuff that you see a lot of AAA titles do because they have time to polish a game and stuff like that. I mean, this is, you know, people got to remember, this is a mobile game that looks this good. So I'm glad they did this. This was really needed, and I'm really excited to see some new characters with this new graphics update.
I know some people in chat this morning were saying this looks almost like a console game like this.
Yeah.
I know there's some complaints on Reddit, but I think this looks really good. I like the lighting pattern. I like the extra shine. I like all this stuff, and I think it looks really, really good. So can't wait to have this update in the game, and I hope it doesn't cause a lot of extra bugs and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, one more thing. They have the graphics update that's live for some people. They did alliance management changes. Looks like the last thing that they really need to, and then Apocalypse changes are live as well. We're going to get to that. But it looks like the last thing they need to fix is the open all orb button. Is that the last thing that they need to fix, or are there some other major bugs? Because I was trying to think of what else is there. I think that's the last thing that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the last like known issues that they've had for a while. I'm almost positive they fixed the mailbox bug where they had the little red dot there for a while, right? So that got fixed, but I think the open all is the last kind of issue that they have. And once they do that, it looks like they're caught up, which is pretty good. It only took them 2 months, but yeah, you know.
Now, when do you think that is going to be back? Because that was live for a long time, then it disappeared, then it came back for a little bit, and then it went away again. So when do you think that is going to go live again, or will it ever go live? Are we going to keep getting these temporary solutions for this?
I'm hoping it goes live, but I hope it doesn't go live at the expense of the game, at the expense of stability and stuff like that, which is the reason why it hasn't come back, right? Yeah. I feel like there are easier ways to kind of skirt around it and kind of just make, hey, all the orbs are 10 times in value now, all your fragments, you know, are 10 times less. So if you have 1,000 orbs, it's only 100 orbs, and that's just way easier to open. I can open 100 orbs because it would be the equivalent of 1,000. I'll do that to get my gold out of it. So I think that should just be the temporary solution, and then just not worry about this anymore.
Well, what about a temporary solution of 100x open button?
Yeah, 100x could absolutely work too. I don't know how, you know, coding works with that, and how strenuous that would be on the servers, but even just even if it's a 50x, something that would make it a little bit better would be really nice.
Yes. Now, we mentioned these Apocalypse changes. They went live this week. I'm not sure. I think they were trying to target them for the end of the week or something like that, but they're live right now, which is great. And they went in conjunction with the changes or the temporal dimension launching. So a lot of that ISO 8 out there.
Yeah.
How much of a big difference is this to not have to build these old Horseman teams? You still have to build the old Horsemen, Morgan Le Fay, Rogue, Red Hulk, Archangel, but now instead of having to build Death Seed and Unlimited X-Men and the Gamma team and the Death Seed team, now you could build, or Dark Hole, I think I said, but instead of having to build all those teams that I may or may not have said correctly, now you just have to build Mystic, Mutant, Bio, and you could use this exact same mutants for Death, and then you could still use, you could choose 3 out of the 4 Marvel Strike Force originals. How much of a difference in timing wise is this going to be for newer mid-game players to get that normal Apocalypse unlock and then get that big boy Apocalypse unlock?
Yeah, so like I'll use Mobile Gamer as a great frame of reference. So he's had a new account for about 2.5, 3 months now, and he's literally 1 3-star node away from getting Apocalypse in like 70, 80 days. He just can't, can't 3-star it because there's a Gambit pinging his Red Hulk who has defense down and stuff like that. But I mean, in 80 days getting Apocalypse, that's ridiculous. And I love the fact that they changed it. So you still have to build the Horsemen, which is perfect. I'm fine with that. We use 3 out of the 4 of them. We won't talk about Archangel. The mutant characters was an issue, right? Because that was 10 characters required for us when we unlocked APOC. Now you only need 6 mutant characters because it's Rogue, Archangel, and 4 other mutants. But because you can double them up. And then also being able to choose the originals as well. You could choose the 3 that you want. So if you don't want to build Vol or you don't want to build Weaver, whatever it is, you can choose the 3 out of the 4, which is awesome. I think this is what they needed to do.
3 of them are Mystic, so
exactly.
So you can do the same exact characters for this if you just want to go like the quickest, least amount of resources possible.
Yeah, I think this was the best change that they could have made. Out of all the suggestions that I've seen from the community, from us, this is by far the best change that they could have done, without a shadow of a doubt. This
is awesome
Absolutely.
Stuff. And we were wondering how they're going to unwind this. We were wondering how they're going to undo this for a while. I like the solution they came up with. So you could keep updating this with whatever the best Mystic or mutant characters are at the time, and you don't have to keep building bad characters. And hopefully the Horsemen never fall out. Hopefully the Horsemen don't fall out of the meta because you still need to build them for Apocalypse.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. We have a new season of Cosmic Crucible. It started on Sunday, though, and this is all your room, brother. Duelim's Destruction. Let's talk about the change that's starting Cosmic Crucible on Sunday, though. What was the major effect? Was this a positive or a negative for you? And why do you think they did this?
Personally, did not change much. I'm streaming on Monday mornings now instead because I used to stream Thursday morning to do round 3 of CC. So it just got, my stream schedule got moved up a day. So that's the only thing that really changed for me. I think it's a little odd. I do like that there is something to do for players on like Sunday evening. So there's at least something to do because people have complained for a while that weekends are just so lackluster and there's nothing to do in the game. Why do I even log in? All that stuff. And a lot of people have been talking that they're making room for a schedule for Battle World, which is a potential. But I don't know. It changes. Nobody likes change, so change is different. So a lot of people are complaining, but I think once people get used to it, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, for me, the major effect was it changed my streaming schedule as well. Normally, the summer, I've been busy with the kids, haven't been streaming as much on Mondays, but now we have Cosmic Crucible. I'm like, I guess I got to stream now. So streaming the afternoons on Monday, but that's other than changing the streaming schedule, not too much. Now, we did get these updated rules. We got some updated rewards as well. Most rewards aren't that affected, but for Platinum League, more diamonds, Diamond League, more diamond rewards, and then there's this brand new one if you're all the way to the top. Very, very good orb, but most players aren't going to get this, especially with the shrinking of tokens. Let's talk about these rules. The new global rule, Wakanda characters count as Illuminati. I haven't really felt this rule too much. The Wakandans not that great unless you pair them with Illuminati. And have you felt this global rule too much?
No, I haven't. Unless somebody's gonna sit there and have the full 5-piece Illuminati and then puts like a Wakanda Iron Man just for fun, and then Iron Man can give them like crit buffs and give them energy and stuff like that. maybe there's some real niche uses, but like they're an old team now. I mean, they're 2.5 years old, so they would need a lot of help to be good enough to be able to do that. But no, I don't see much of that at all.
I tried to lean into the first round of the Cosmic Crucible tournament with the content creators, and that rat room got destroyed so easily. I'm like, screw the Wakandans, and they're going back out. I'm not trying to make this hybrid team with them. So yeah, I didn't really find a use of it. Let's talk about these new rules, these new room rules. Let's talk about your room. What was your thought process behind this? Just give some benefits and negatives to everybody?
Yeah, so I wanted something open enough that pretty much any team could be used in there, or any character could be used in there, and I feel like that is met there. I also wanted to give a slight advantage to offensive people because they can choose whether they use their basic, special, or ultimate. The AIs can't. So if they're ulting turn 1, that's kind of a bad thing, where usually you want characters who ult turn 1 because that's a good thing. So it's now actually a bad thing because you're giving your opponent energy, right? And I just love the fact that I was like, cool, I'm going to ult. And I'm like, I didn't do enough damage. And now they come back and they have all of their ultimates. And I'm like, well, I'm screwed now. I did not do enough damage. I didn't calculate this right. So it's a double-edged sword ulting in that room, which I really like that thought process.
It seems like a lot of the rooms this season are a double-edged sword, right? Giving you some benefit, giving your enemies some benefit. I kind of like this season. What do you think of overall what this rules have done to this season of Cosmic Crucible? Really exciting, really bland, more of the same. How has it been for you?
I like them because they're more open-ended. They're not prescriptive. You don't look at that and go, oh yeah, Infinity Watch is going here, which is what we had to do for a lot of seasons. And they've gotten a lot better at that the last 2 or 3 seasons. I'd say season like 7, 8, and 9 have been really good about theory crafting and changing stuff up in rooms. Like a lot of people, some people have been throwing Hive Mind in room 4 because they get energy on spawn, so they're not affected by not having their ultimates, which is really cool. Or like Pegasus gets energy on spawn, so people have thrown that in there because then New Warriors doesn't do well because they don't have their ults. So like, there's a lot of theory crafting that goes into this that I love, honestly, and I think the more people play with these rooms, the more theory crafting we're gonna get, so it keeps the season fresh for the entire time.
What was the biggest surprise room for you this season? I know it's only been 3 rounds, but what so far, what's been the biggest surprise?
I think 4 is really an interesting room because, you know, APOC doesn't have his ult turn 1, Tangle don't have ults, New Warriors don't have ults, so like a lot of things that go into that scream Old Man Logan, right? So Old Man Logan's a ridiculous character in there. Even like trying to use Cabal into room 4 on offense, you can't use the Zemo ult because Zemo can't ult turn 1, so like you got a lot less chances to crit. So I really like room 4. I think room 4 causes a lot of issues for people, which I think is really fun.
Yeah, this has caused some issues for me as well. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, damn, I don't have my ultimate ready. Damn, why didn't I think of that? All right, I gotta actually look at these rules, not just look at the teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I kind of like this season. I like these more open-ended rules. You could funnel a lot of different teams in there, and I kind of like that. We also got some changes to Arena. This was something I was really looking forward to. I don't think I've done all of my decks back to back yet, though. Have you made use of this feature? And if not, what effects do you think it's going to have once you start using that?
My mind went to negative immediately for like just super slingshotting at the last 10 minutes of somebody just at rank 25, and then they're going to bang out five 2-minute battles and then just go up to rank like 4. Which I think is a benefit and a negative because then people don't have to worry about sitting at the top if it's super competitive, right? Because I know your arena, Shard, is really, really old school and like there's a lot of good people in there. So people that are sitting at, rank 50 can sit there and go, all right, cool. I got 20 minutes before reset. I'm going to bang out all my attacks and get up to, 15 and be like, all right, cool. At least I got a good payout because I can do all of them back to back to back to back.
Yeah, I like not having to wait 15 minutes. A lot of times I haven't I've been forgetting about this, but a lot of times I'm like, oh damn, I want to do my attack now. Oh, let me go do something and come back. I like that I don't have to wait for this. Yeah, it may be bad for slingshotting, but I don't have to wait for my attack. So I think that's a good thing. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. It is kind of a double-edged sword, like these Cosmic Crucible rules. There's some good and there's some bad with this. But let's talk about these Guardians of the what milestones? These wait.
Guardian of the Forest, maybe?
Guardian of the
Camp.
Yeah, let's talk about these Guardian of the Camp milestones. Now it says with these milestones, battle in Cosmic Crucible with Illuminati characters, but that's not really where these points are scored. Most of these points are scored from the web milestones, and spending ISO 8 energy seems a little misleading. I know some people were upset that, oh, we were getting a shortened day of Cosmic Crucible, but it's not really based on Cosmic Crucible, in my opinion. Do you think this would have made a difference for some players starting this like on the normal Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for Cosmic Crucible, and potentially getting Black Panther's Shuri Shards and then getting an extra star here to score a little more points for these milestones? Or it's such little points in this event in the totality, it doesn't really matter?
So it is such little points, it probably doesn't matter. But the round 1 of Cosmic Crucible for week 2, this event will still be going on. So the Shuri event will have almost come to an end. So most everybody would have unlocked Shuri, so they can get the points from either using Shuri at just the unlock, or maybe they'll have the 5-star and be able to get those extra points. So keep them on offense for CC round 1 if you still need those extra points.
Ah, that's a good point. So yeah, although in the front end you lost some time, in the back end you're gaining that time. You get more time to get that Black Panther Shuri unlock or get another star for her. I was only looking at the comments on the front end. I didn't notice that the timing actually made it beneficial to use this. So yeah, the change of CC rule is actually good. Now, what do you think of the Shuri orb itself? You know, you have to spend ISO 8 for it. I've gotten some okay pulls with it. How are your pulls, and what do you think of this orb as far as the drop rate for some of what you can get in this?
Weird, because Shuri is not in the middle at all, which I think is odd. I like that she's guaranteed on the right, but I think it's weird that she's not even like a jackpot in the middle. I thought that was really, really peculiar, because right now the only character that's not farmable on that list is Dakin. And Pandapool, right? And Pandapool, right?
And leader's in the Crucible store, so he's kind of hard to get.
Right? Yeah,
but he is farmable. He is farmable.
But I don't know. It's weird that over half of that orb is just useless for the center slot, when normally the featured character is also in there, and then they give us the guaranteed drop on the side. But 3 to 5 shards on the right is pretty cool. Honestly, I've gotten 5 a couple times actually, and I've actually gotten, I think, like 50 leader shards from this orb. So they've been pretty good to me, which is really nice. Saved me a lot of time to get leader to 3 diamond.
Yeah, I'm actually liking the leader shards. You know, he's farmable, but it's very rare that they pop up for me in the Cosmic Crucible store. So I do like that he's included in this, even though he's technically farmable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the second round of Sword Satellite ended this week. How much did you push on this for these ranking rewards now that they're more than 1 million gold for everything? Were you trying to get in the top 1,000, stay in the top 5,000? Where did you go? And it looks like they've adjusted these ranks. They're not percentages anymore. So people wondering when you're going to get the payout. It should be coming soon. But what do you think of this second run of this event?
I knew I wasn't getting like top 500, top 100, stuff like that, because I didn't have Mephisto, right? So that was going to be locked up by people who have Mephisto, who can beat the last node.
I heard there was some non-Mephisto people that did get into the top 500, which was cool.
Yep. Yeah. There was some options to get through the node 50, which was really cool. But I was kind of meh on it. The rewards for me, I already have a 3 diamond Iron Patriot, and then Captain America, I have a 1 diamond. So it was going to be a 1 diamond upgrade for me because I got in the top 5,000. Yep. And then the Black Bolt diamond didn't do anything for me because I had already 2 diamonds on him before the rework, and I already put the 3rd diamond on him anyway.
So it's pretty much 1 crimson,
it's 1 orb.
Armory 19 orb is the difference.
Yeah, which I don't even really need G19 minis anymore. It's more the origin gear and the catalyst that I need more of anything.
Now, what do you think about the payout going out late? I think, you know, obviously we don't get the rewards right away. I want the rewards sooner, but at the expense of having accurate rewards. I think having accurate rewards, even though we get them a day later or 2 days later, is more important. What do you think of the timing of these rewards payouts?
Accuracy is key. I'd rather them delay it and bring out something accurate than try to send it out immediately so people are happy and then compensate based on who didn't get what and they should have gotten this. delay it a little bit, bring it out correctly, and let's just have it at that. Like, does it suck a little bit? Yeah, because somebody could have used a 1 Diamond Iron Patriot, and that could have been the difference between their Crucible win or loss, right? But like, the rewards aren't game breaking. Like, I mean, the Super Scroll one was pretty ridiculous, because that changed Cosmic Crucible, that changed Wars.
Yeah.
So like, that delay was a lot more impactful. This one, not too much at all.
Yeah, gotcha. Now, let's move on to the new team in here that there's some rewards, and that is the Illuminati. What are your thoughts on this 5-person Illuminati without Captain Britain? How good are they right now? How impressive are you with their performance in Cosmic Crucible this week?
They're really good. They're really, really good. So like, in room 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, Illuminati without Captain Britain can absolutely destroy a superior 6, or a full superior 6 with Lizard and everything. So Shuri specials turn 1. Yeah, exactly. Shuri specials turn 1 takes the charges off of Green Goblin Classic, puts the ability block, and they don't do anything. It's ridiculous.
How much did you punch up with your Illuminati? I think I punched up with my 1.4 Illuminati against a 3.1 superior 6.
Oh,
yeah,
it
was big. It was pretty big. I was like, I'm gonna lose this anyway. Let's just go in, and they won.
That's
what
insane.
The heck?
I saw somebody in our alliance, One Pride. He went against a full G19 3 diamond superior 6, and his Illuminati was like 1,000,000 power less and got an 8369. Like, beat it in 6 turns. Like, it wasn't even close. Full health, 6 turns, they were dead.
All right, I'm also hearing this 5-piece beats a Merc for money in Cosmic Crucible.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that. Where is there certain circumstances? Is that the Nightcrawler version? Any version with Old Man Logan? What is your experience with that team? With countering that team?
Yeah, it should be relatively any version because Black Panther Shuri stops the assists. So she's not going to let the Old Man Logan get the assists. Now you will need a little bit of a beefy team to get through it because it's still Old Man Logan, right? Like, he's no slouch just because he can't assist. And with the Nightcrawler version, he's going to get the speed up from Nightcrawler special and stuff. But this team is really good. And honestly, Iron Man is not bad. Even at like level 90 gear tier, I think I have level 90 gear tier 16, and he does not die. He has good health. His damage is good. He's giving energy. Like, he's pretty good.
I like his special. Extending the buffs. I didn't think that was that valuable before, but on this team, very, very valuable. Or the debuffs on the other team.
And then he gives energy to adjacent on his special, and then his ultimate, he gives energy to everybody on his team as well. So like, he's a battery. He's not bad. Like, he is, like, obviously Captain Britain's ridiculous, right? But this is a good 5-piece without him.
All right, if you get Captain Britain, who gets replaced though at this point? Black Bolt, Iron Man, or Mr. Fantastic?
Iron Man, absolutely.
Still,
Iron Man.
Even after all that you said about Iron Man, you still were like, okay.
Yeah, so the thing about Iron Man is his passive gives defense up on spawn to Illuminati characters. Captain Britain's also does the same thing.
So they kind of overlap.
Correct. You can't drop Black Bolt because he gives the extra max health to Illuminati characters. And I don't think you can drop Mr. Fantastic because, first of all, Mr. Fantastic is insanely good. His ultimate is ridiculously strong. And also his passive gives resistance, and it also gives focus to Illuminati allies. So like, I think that's just bar none imperative to have those two, and just lose the Iron Man energy.
Gotcha. Now we also have this attack here from Valley Club. This was a attack they did in War, not just good in Cosmic Crucible. Even the 5-piece without Captain Britain beats the Secret Defenders, which isn't like one of the top meta teams, but still pretty impressive for a team
Secret Defenders, man.
It's a Cosmic Crucible team beating I guess they're an
arena team, arena hybrid,
war. Yeah. So they're pretty good, even without Captain Britain. Now, what kind of value do you think that we have from Black Panther Shuri and Hank Pym? Dark Dimension 7 worth getting there, like building them up for other value, other game modes, or just pretty much Cosmic Crucible and War for this?
Dark Dimension, maybe. The only reason I say maybe, Hank is 2 tech pieces.
Yeah, he's pretty cheap.
The problem is he uses the exact same unique as Kang, and Kang is a no-brainer for Cosmic. So if you have enough of those, I would say absolutely bring him in. He's a no-brainer. But it would be good to bring in Shuri too, right? But Shuri's Mystic, and Mystic is a hard piece to come by. So that's the only thing. And I think if you bring one, you have to bring both. Personally, but then you're pretty much kicking out Cabal because Black Knight's still a shoe-in to come in. Nightcrawler's pretty much a shoe-in, and then unfortunately, I don't see anybody else coming in that would be really worth it. So I don't know. It's interesting for their uses. They could be really, really good though.
What about legendaries? They're very expensive. Black Bolt, Iron Man, do their reworks give them enough justification to build them up despite their really, really heavy cost?
Put me on the spot with this one. I love Black Bolt.
I didn't know I was going to ask a question. I didn't know I was going to ask a question. That's why I put you on the spot.
Yeah, I really do. I really like Black Bolt, and obviously I'm a Crucible fiend. Like Crucible's my favorite game mode, right? So like I make it a point to take Crucible characters into DD7 if it works for me. Like I took Cabal and I couldn't be happier. If I really had extra bio gear, I'd take Black Bolt over like Nova. I'd take Black Bolt instead, honestly, because of his damage is really good and his uses in Crucible are awesome.
All right, so that we'll get to Dark Dimension updates on that, but I do want to say there's some compensation. If you were someone that bought some of these offers for Black Panther, Shuri, and there was a little controversy. You had to buy 2 offers. Well, now they changed that threshold. If you spent over $100, because some of these offers were more expensive and cost more than 2 offers. Anyway, they got compensated correctly. But let's go back and talk about Dark Dimension. Where are you right now in Dark Dimension? How are you progressing right now?
So I am in Cosmic Node 2, and I ended up taking Eternals, Void Knight, Kang, and Stitcher. So I ended up bringing in the minion.
Stitcher is like the Infinity Waters. He's a cockroach that never goes away.
Yeah, so I ended up bringing in Stitcher, and honestly, he's not doing too bad. His percent health is pretty nice, but you really, honestly, with just Eternals and Kang, it's wiping nodes. Like I 3-shot node 1 and I'm probably going to 4-shot node 2. And I'm not resetting a bunch to like make sure I'm good on cooldown. Like I don't care. But I'm in Cosmic. Legendary is I'm just waiting on Nova. I need like 25 more Origin pieces, which is minimal. And then for Mythic, all I need is Doom. And Doom, I'm just missing damage catalysts, and I need like 60 of them, and I'm done with the building for DD7.
Okay, so I think I like your Cosmic picks. Go over your Legendary picks again. Obviously, Old Man Logan, Green Goblin Classic, Black Cat are like 3 good characters that you probably want to bring in. The rest of these are kind of up for debate, what you want to bring in. So who is your other 2 that you said?
So I did Nova, and then I did and then who was my other one? Nova, and then Rogue. I did Rogue because of her uses in Cosmic Crucible with Extreme.
Okay, was that also based on the mutant gear and your availability of mutant gear, or just her? Okay. Now, what was your selection of Nova behind? That's not a character that I use as much as even Red Hulk or Omega Red, even in Rogue. So where did the Nova come from? Is that just the gear you had, or is this something specific about Nova?
It was gear I had. So I didn't take Vol to Cosmic, so I had the Osmium for him, and then also because I took Stitcher, I didn't have the gamma radiation for Red Hulk, so the next up was Bio, and it's Nova because Nova doesn't take gamma radiation.
I forgot about that gamma radiation.
Yep, that's the only bad thing about taking Stitcher that I'm kind of annoyed about because I didn't get to take Rolk, but Nova, I still use him in CC. He's a great character, and the bigger he is, obviously, the more damage he does. He's on a war team that's going to last forever. So his longevity was a good reason of bringing him. And honestly, I'm not bringing in Nick Fury. I'm not going to bring in Omega Red because he's just too old. And then the rest are just not good, other than Black Bolt.
Black Bolt is tempting, man. He's very expensive, but I'm tempted by Black Bolt right now. All right, I am in the global section. Node 2, I did bring in Cabal, Black Knight, Nightcrawler, and I'm building up the same 4 characters as you. Kang, Void Knight, the Eternals. I'm not sure about the 5th. Maybe one of these new characters will be good. Maybe I'll go back to do Stitcher because I didn't want to bring in a Dark Dimension 5, 6. I don't want to bring in a Dark Dimension 7, but maybe Mephisto is worth that enough to get him. All right, and now it's time for some new Datamines, brother Dulam. And this first one to talk about some related to Aries. Now, what it says here, and of course, Datamines are always subject to change. What it says, recruit Aries, the god of war, to your roster, power him up along with his new premium milestone, Drums of War milestone. So it looks like in addition to that battle pass, there's also going to be this milestone here. Earn progress towards this premium milestone, obtaining the Helmet of Aries tokens. You'll need to complete every tier of the Aries battle pass in order to obtain enough to reach milestone 6. How challenging do you think these milestones are going to be? It also says milestone 7. Is the battle pass just going to award tokens? And then as we get the milestones, we're getting more shards of him. That's the way I'm seeing this here. Is that the way you think that's going to work?
Maybe. This might be a way that they give an awaken ability. And this could be how they get it to make sure you buy all of the passes. So the way this looks to me, right, is this is pure speculation. I know nothing. This is the first time I've even seen this.
And this is a data mine, so they may change this before it even goes live. So
there's tokens, right? So my thought was initially was 1 token per pass and 1 milestone per token, right? So there's 6 milestones, so 6 tokens, so 6 passes potentially. Yeah. And then there's extra offers to get milestone 7, which I'm assuming will be an awaken ability. Maybe, I don't know. That's what this looks like. Maybe there's extra stuff in there. Maybe there's some good Crimson gear for Aries. Maybe there's the unique, the Hammer Tech, gold training mats, stuff like that. But this looks interesting. I don't know. It looks like just extra stuff for buying the passes, which is good because the passes are the best value in Marvel Strike Force. So getting extra value for that, for not changing anything, I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah, if you're someone that buys the passes anyway, this is just kind of a free character if you look at this.
Yeah, so absolutely.
That's a cool way. Now, not too much big things as far as the data mines, but we do have earn a Uncanny Wolverine costume, and that is not the X-Men 97 costume. That is the newer costume that's not been released free yet. It's only been available as a paid product. If we go into the game right now, this is the X-Men 97 costume, but this is the Uncanny one. I don't have this one yet. And for me, this is the costume I want because this is the first version of Wolverine that I know from my childhood. I know that the cartoon had this version, but I actually remember this version from the comics. So I'm excited to get this, especially if this is something that we're going to get for free. Also, they mentioned in this data mine, a diamond for Deadpool and 3 diamonds for Wolverine. So if this may be coming, don't buy any diamonds for any of those characters. Do you like these? We talked about costumes a little bit, but do you like these events that have them as like big rewards for them for these events?
Yeah. As long as it's not like in the Whalestones where you have to pay to get it, because I feel like the costumes should be something that we can get for fun. I'm okay if it's paywall for the first couple months, but they come back and then everybody free to play can get it as long as they're engaged. But I didn't see the 3 diamonds on Wolverine. Listen, mine doesn't have 3 diamonds yet. I'm ready for that. That's nice.
That's probably that part probably is going to be a paid track milestone or auction for that, but I like the costume part.
Yeah, I love the costume part. We need more costumes. It spices up the game. I really like the costumes. They need to do more with those, in my opinion. Just not gold costumes, for the love of God, Scopely.
Oh my goodness, be more creative.
Unless it's the Deathpool gold costume, because the Deathpool gold anniversary costume is chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. Do more like that, please.
Yeah, I like that one. I don't consider that a gold one because the Kang one, but because that one has some extra colors and stuff like that. But that is a great costume, yeah. And that is it, Dulam. Big week in Marvel Strike Force. Some positives, some negatives. Overall, what are your thoughts on this week? There's a lot of anger towards the end of last week. I think a lot of that died down towards the middle of this week, or at least what I'm experiencing. What are your thoughts on the overall week that we've had in Marvel Strike Force, brother?
Yeah, Illuminati was the flame last week, and then I feel like Aries was a little bit of a fire extinguisher on the flames because the really good release for him battle pass wise. It seems like it's shaping up to be a free character that's going to change war, which is awesome. And Crucible seemed to be working really well. A lot of different counters showed up and stuff like that. So it seems like people are enjoying Crucible. I've seen a lot more positive feedback about war lately, which is crazy. Even me, I'm enjoying it, which is fascinating. So it seems like we had a little bit of a dip the last couple of weeks, but we're on a trend up now, which I hope keeps going.
Jeff helped us out with some Hank Pym and Black Panther Shuri shards. Keep it going, Jeff. Maybe everybody can get a free Captain Britain, and all that anger was for nothing because Jeff just makes it right.
We need a decimal point Jeff GoFundMe. That's what we need. Get him a raise. I love this guy.
Yeah, I like it. Keep screwing up, Jeff. Give us another summer of blunder. Make it an awesome summer. Yeah, it's Captain Britain for free. All right, we'll see what happens, guys. I hope Jeff keeps screwing up and gives community free stuff. But if you got some value for this video, leave it a like. It is free for you. Tremendously helps the channel. And if you want to check out what are the best characters to use to unlock Apocalypse now that he has some new requirements, check out the video up there. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Are you ready for a fist bump, brother Dulam?
Always.
Always. Here we go, brother. Hog fist bump, ValleyFlyin, brother Dulam all the way from the Shire. Out. Have a great one, guys.